Okay.
Happy New Year, everybody. Well,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
welcome, everyone. You found your way to the Sacred Wisdom Circle. Linked by the golden thread, we are lighthouses, beacons of truth, guiding the way. Through deep conversations and shared wisdom, we illuminate the path and heal through truth. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, hello,
I'm
welcome.
happy to be back in
Hello.
2026.
Happy New Year.
Happy
So
2020.
excited to reconnect after the holidays and hear all of the exciting news that's going on with everybody.
Oh my gosh, right? Yeah.
And it's 2026. We did it. We made it
Yay!
through 2025. Although we're still working through the energies, but
Mm-hmm.
how exciting. How exciting. So what are we going to talk about today, ladies? All of this freaking energy that's going on. I don't know about you guys. For me, it's been like, well, we all know we're shifting from the snake year to the fire horse year, but that shift specifically doesn't happen till like February. So we're still, like you said, Janice, still feeling the old energies from 2025 but bringing in the insanely amazing energy that's coming in from 2026.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we're working with the energy of 10. We know we want to reduce it to 1, but the 10 is a higher iteration of the 1.
It is.
So yeah, it's just such an interesting time to be moving into these new beginnings at a higher level of consciousness. So yeah, I had quite an interesting experience with that over my cocooning for December, because I actually felt like I spent my whole December in a cocoon. I started my business 23 years ago, and numerologically, that was in 2002. So numerologically, 23 is the royal star of the lion number, which is one of the strongest numbers in numerology. And the first 23 years ended with 2025. And so if I go back to the first 23, I started at a 1, and now we're starting the second 23 at a 10. So it's been quite interesting in terms of, I think, yeah, for many of us, a lot of 2025 was about clearing away stories, drama, lower vibrational energies. And then I had this glorious month in this cocoon that I didn't want to come out with. And then smack in came reality yesterday. I had to prepare for a meeting, and it was like I could feel all this energy going around my head and going, I felt like a drunken sailor. All of a sudden, I had to kind of stand on steady ground again and go into a meeting. So that was kind of quite an interesting start to um, the newer energies of 2026. So that was kind of my December. I had a wonderful time.
Good.
Sounds exciting.
Oh,
December for
Sounds
me
Oh.
was a myriad of emotions, like just a whirlwind, in all honesty, from sadness um, to the joy of the season as well. And again, it's that back and forth kind of pull that I was going through, and I think it's the releasing of old, as you were saying, Angela, stepping into that newer energy. But I think just literally clearing away what isn't working anymore, right? Like, so the stories and the narratives, and um, especially around family, right? Like, it was really, really interesting. And I think for me, it was a very busy season. I was sick over it as well. But nothing major. It was just that the cold was hanging on, and it was a cold. Like, it's not developed into anything worse, but it was very, very, I think, slowing me down enough to go, okay, wait a minute, what's really important here? Right. And basing some decisions on that for myself moving forward. I'm looking still for some respect from people that I'm not getting it from. Right. And so it's like, hey, take that step back and respect myself in those dynamics. So yeah, another learning curve with regards to myself, and peeling away another of that layer and around acceptance. So that my books, the children's books, that's been an absolute nightmare. Learning a lot about vanity publishers as opposed to traditional publishers. But I'm still working with them as much as it's been there's been a lot of obstacles and challenges with it. I'm not willing to lose $5,000, out of my pocket. And so I'm continuing to work with them, and I'm being bumped from person to person. And this time with this person, they're like, well, what's happened? And I'm like, I am not getting into it right now. This is a project that means something within my heart. So I just want to focus on getting it done. I don't want
There you go.
to go into that other place anymore. So that leave on the 12th for India.
Yay! I'm so
Oh,
excited for this.
Yeah. So I
That's
will,
Monday.
that's next Friday in the evening. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The 12th until February
It's
the
the
1st.
16th.
Yep. So I'm sorry, the 16th. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was like, the
Um,
12th is Monday.
just want to make sure you don't miss your flight.
Yeah, that's right.
no, the 16th is the day. So really, I'm nervous, but I think I'm more excited. The nervousness is around the flights, but what I've done is I'm making sure that I'm not having to check a bag. I'm just going to take a carry on in a personal bag, so that I'm not worrying about that added stress of trying to find a bag,
Mhm.
at airports, because there are a few stopovers, one on the way there, two on the way back. So I think that will ease my stress level. Very, very excited. I mean, we're going to be well taken care of in regards
Mhm.
to where we're sleeping. We're being picked up at the airport, dropped off to the hotel. So it's it's going to be an amazing journey. I'm excited.
How long are you going to be away for?
14 days. I come
Oh,
I'll
back
miss you
wow.
for
February
a couple
1st.
weeks.
And where in India are you going?
Where I'm going to be in the southern part of India, so Chennai, and traveling to Cochin. So we'll be taking trains, buses. We will be I think there's a riverboat cruise. We're going to be getting dressed up in saris and traditional Indian dress
Wow.
and going out for dinner. I have no idea what else he's got going on, but he's got it packed full of things. So I'm very, very, very excited. Like this is an adventure, and I think, good God, I've had emotions down in the Dominican when I've been down there, so I can only imagine what emotions are going to come up for me there, and the growth that's going to happen as a result of stepping into a completely different culture. BJ, who is the organizer of the trip, he was here at the house yesterday and met Dale for the first time. And I just felt for Dale, it would probably be easier if he knew who I was going with, right? You get a sense of the person. And he said, Pam, you're more of a yogi than you realize. He goes, yoga in the way that the Western world knows it. He goes, that's only 1/8 of it.
Yeah.
And he said, you're more of a yogi. He goes, I'm excited for the talks that we'll be having
Yeah.
around everything. And he goes, I'm excited for the wisdom that you're going to bring to that. So
Yes.
it's, I'm just, yeah, really, really thrilled and excited about it. And then I come home for a week, and then I'm off to the Dominican for 2 months. And I'm going to work
Wow.
from there.
How
That's
nice.
fun.
Yeah. What a wonderful
Oh,
start to 2026.
And my office in Keswick is closing.
all kinds of
So I'm going
unfolding
to,
for you.
yeah, a lot of things are unfolding. So I'm going to be working from home. I have a couple of other things that I'm looking into as well, just to make it easy and convenient for people around here. But you know what? The people that have been, clients that I've been working with are very, accepting and understanding, and think it's great, and are excited about the trips. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, it's really cool. Again, because I think it's that showing people that we can live our best lives, right? We can take care of ourselves, and we can make our work so it's not so daunting.
Mhm. One of the things you said at the beginning too is like from last year to this year, the shedding of the old and removing of the old patterns and the old processes, identities, these types of things. What we've been talking about over the last in December and then again this month around what we're shifting from. And you said of having a cold, and I truly believe being ill is part of that releasing process. And like you
I
said,
agree.
allowing ourselves to surrender. And I think it's really interesting to say that because, like I said earlier before we even hit record, I think was like there's been so many people that I'm aware of that has come to my attention that have been sick over these holidays specifically, more than I can ever remember in the past. During the holidays of people transitioning from 2025 to 2026, of having this release and having this shift. So if you're listening and you're like, oh, I've been sick, I've been ill, there's stuff going on within your body that you're releasing, that you're stepping for and creating room into 2026. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to highlight from what you said too. Obviously on top of the amazing opportunities you're creating, but
But that's beautiful and it's truth. Like I have learned, like my partner, Dale, he was like, "Go get some meds. Go get some antibiotics." I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that." And it's I know that my body's releasing. I get that. I'm
Mhm.
not sure everything that's connected to it. Don't need to figure it out. Just allow it.
Exactly.
And I know also everything that's happening for everybody, even though you're not aware of it, is
Mhm.
we're all being shifted. All of us.
Yeah.
Those of you that are watching and going through your illnesses, everybody thinks it's because you're not taking care of yourself. No, I take care of myself, but we are released physically. We have to. If we're not mentally and emotionally aware, it's got to come out somehow.
Mhm.
And I learned that a long time ago. So, yeah, that's a really good point, Alana. People be gentle with yourself over the next little while. Pay attention to your body. And if you're tired, relax, take care of you. Um, the things will get done that are around you. Don't go into that. You know, in order to feel a value, I have to accomplish all of these things. That's the worst
Mhm.
thing we can do to ourselves. It actually
Asking you to slow
suppresses.
down, like you
Yeah.
said. Yeah, exactly. Janice, what's going on with you?
Hey, I was waiting for you.
Go for it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I spent December finishing a huge painting that was part of my big commissions. So that consumed a lot of my time. It was the biggest painting that I have done on canvas. I've done wall murals, but I haven't done a canvas this big. So it was 48, like 4 feet by 5 feet. And
Wow.
so, yeah, and it was just, I love how it unfolded and I love the painting itself and it's been delivered and so that is fabulous and I have 5 more to do for this lady and they are 24-inch by 40 no 24 yeah 24 by 48. So, that's gonna take a lot of time for me, but and also as we move into the new year, I am working on my new book, Soul Magic, and I'm so excited about that. There's been like more and more coming through. Been working it with my groups, my ladies, we've been diving into inner coherence. So bringing, that nervous system into alignment, our body feeling safe to expand. So we've been releasing fear frequencies like huge, huge, huge. And it has been so well received. I've had so many people signing up, and it reflects back to me two things. One is this is what we need right now. Two is this is what I needed. This was the missing
Yeah.
piece for me. So it's been fabulous because each week, like I have this like outline curriculum, but each week more transmissions have been coming through and going deeper and deeper into it and very profound. It's been very, very profound for all of us. And we've been painting along with it. So the intuitive painting along with the shifts, bringing that creative flow in with all of that inner coherence is just magical, absolutely magical. Your canvas becomes like a portal of conversation between you and the universe. And things show up on your canvas that are absolutely transformative for you. So it's very cool to see what the universe is communicating to you through the
Mhm.
shapes and symbols that come up. So that is going on. I've got like the 3 groups going on, and I'm rerunning the very first one again. The Art of Inner Coherence is starting January 26th. So that because there was quite a few people that reached out after and said, "Are you doing again? Because I missed it and timing wasn't right for me." So yeah, we're doing it again. I have a group going through the second part of that, called Living the Art of Inner Coherence. I have a soul sight group going where we're doing visioning for 2026 with intuitive painting, and that's been so much fun. And then of course my certification group is going. So we've been super busy and have yet to find time to actually get another painting going or finish off one that I have going, and also to start writing the book that I have the outline for. I'm just like, but I really feel like all of this that's coming through is going to be part of the book too. Like it's just
Mhm.
downloading and coming through. It feels like a completion. It feels so I'm feeling very, very grounded, landed in my body, very centered and um very much an expanded container for holding more
Mhm.
is what I'm
Yes.
feeling. Yeah. So it's been a beautiful transition for me. I know lots of people are in different places and it's all perfect and beautiful. But for me, it's been I'm ready. I'm ready to
Oh,
go.
I love this.
Love that.
I
Yes.
love the unfolding that's happening for each of us in this transition of what's been going on. Like you said, it's like we're moving from this, and it started with you, Angela, but like sharing like where you've come from and where that's being created and coming into. I totally feel the same as well. Like the last few months have really been about clearing out some of the things that I've been still holding on to. But it's I can literally feel the momentum of what started in October for me and has continuously, very much like you, Janice, have been like have feeling the opportunity of stepping into my truest version of what I'm expression or of my expression. And solidification of that. There's been so much of an unfolding. And so for me, we have my branding here is Spirituality Amplified. It's been a vision of mine for over 2 and 3 years or probably or more, that I've been creating it, and it's something that's physically coming into fruition now. I have a couple of people I'm collaborating with, and we are creating a physical space locally, um, aligned with that. So, and that it's like it's amplifying specifically what I do and how, and giving me clarity, even like you said, in the containers I'm creating. I've been kind of in the like, I've done all these things, but how does that all fit together? And literally, as it's coming through so quickly and so clearly that it's like, okay, hold on, 2026 is going to be freaking ridiculous, but it's going to be so friggin' good.
It's so
Oh my
interesting that
gosh.
you're saying that. It just, I mean, all of just listening to all of you, the cocooning for me brought about such an interesting shift. First off, also like you, Janice, the whole outline of a book, the whole proposal's been written for to send to an editor. Still have to write the chapters. The book's called Becoming Me, and it starts off with becoming me and ends off with being me. And that's the kind of
Mhm.
arc that the book goes through. But I mean, that was like 2 weeks of December, just getting all of that, and just keeping. I mean, the channeling was just coming through, and the book's in pieces all over the place, but it's still there. And then the other thing that has been really interesting is my business has reinvented itself. Not me; it has reinvented itself. And I spent the other 2 weeks of December um, almost for me, the description is like my what how you call it, mycelial, the network underneath the ground, and
Mhm.
setting that whole infrastructure together in terms of what the new version of the business is going to be looking like, the new energy, the new frequency, which was quite a journey in and of itself. And what's also shifted completely is the way that the work's going out. It's not about me. It's not about the work. It's about the individuals who are engaging with the work. And so the whole way that it's being written and put together is with the seeker in mind, not the teacher in mind. And that's been a radical shift. And what that now means is everything that was done in the first 23 years has got to go underneath a microscope and shift the energy from the teacher mode into the receiver's mode. And that's been, yeah, it's very interesting. that shift. Excuse me, I have to sneeze again, and I don't have a cold. I just have to sneeze.
All good.
Releasing more.
Something that you said, Pam, that I wanted to touch on too was when you at first talked about, frustration in a situation of not receiving respect from other people.
Mm,
And I really think that right now we're stepping into an energy of not shrinking around people that we would normally get quieter about. We're actually being encouraged to be more vocal and to step into that divine feminine and speak it strongly. Like, not just in a group of our safe groups in
yeah.
our
No, you're
own
right.
little
Containers. Yeah.
containers, yeah, or here. It's like, can you speak like this in a room full of men? Can you
Mhm.
be that divine feminine energy in a room full of relatives or people that don't give you respect and stand strong? Because we got to remember those people are still searching and still unsure of where they are. They're
Yes.
not strong in themselves. So we need to represent that.
Yep.
And so that's going to be, a beautiful challenge for me too. I am like definitely sorry, our lights just flashed here.
I saw that.
Definitely, needing to step into that and get more clear, and I had a really great conversation with my son, 2 nights ago about, our desires and seeing our desires from a different perspective than what we've been taught and our dreams and he challenged me, and it was really good because I said to him after, "You're a great model for me to bounce this off of to be able to get more clear when I know it's somebody that's like not quite following everything that I do, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So he does, but he doesn't. and so and
Mhm.
so it was really great because he kept questioning and challenging and he's argumentative anyways. So it was really
Well,
great for me to be able to get more clear from in
that
my words.
that is awesome, and I wanna thank you for that, Janice, because I know it's like, "Oh, yeah, where are we?" Um, that whole element of understanding that we're not always meant to be in peachy. We don't grow when things are, peaceful and copacetic and everything's wonderful. It is these situations where we do get frustrated or where we're be challenged or where we can perceive it that we're not being respected. It's growth and it's also to get back to our own center,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right?
I
So
think,
those of
yeah.
you that are listening or watching, you know what? It's okay to ruffle some feathers. It's okay. That means that there's growth happening for everyone involved. Conflict or confrontation is a beautiful thing for growth. We have to have it. It's that yin and that yang too. So thank you for that. I appreciate that very much
Yeah.
because sometimes we lose sight of that as well when we're in it.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I'm meant to be here. Oh yeah, I mean, I've been a catalyst for change my entire life. So you do lose sight of it,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and what you said there too is like the frustration. And I think that's a really key point too. And not in being frustrated, but the emotion of being frustrated is for a reason. And then instead of staying in the frustration of being like, take a breath, check in. And for those that are listening, it's like, take a breath, check in. Okay, where is this frustration coming from? Because my boundaries not being respected. And okay, how could I clearly, instead of from the emotion of frustration, but how could I, now that I've taken a breath and felt into myself, how can I express in a way that is clearly my aligned with me and where I'm going versus in the frustration? Because that's where I find we get a lot of us get caught up in the emotion of it. But it's like, take a breath, remove yourself from the frustrational piece, take a few minutes if you need, but come back to you and what feels good for you. And why is this triggering for me? Because it's not within alignment with me. So how do I want this to move forward? Like you said, Pam, is like, okay, no, I don't need to rehash this. I just want to, how do I want to move forward from here and stepping forward with that clarity? And I love what you said there, Janice, is like one of the things that came up for me too this week specifically is where am I still asking permission to lead? And that was a question for me that was like, I feel like I'm being a leader in so many spaces, and I have been in the past, but there's still spots where I'm not. So it's like stepping into that, like those people that are coming, we're coming up against, or connecting with, and it's not even coming up against, it's connecting with, it's that they are potentially in a space where they're not feeling in a lead, like, even though they're creating that frustrational piece, there's something within them that they are seeking clearer understanding for too, so in their own
Yeah.
journey, right? So like you said, it's like stepping in and being that leader for them
In
even.
Even if it's
being
just holding space,
Mhm.
holding space in who you are.
Yeah, I
Mm.
was gonna
You don't
say
might
that.
necessarily have to say anything. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, exactly.
no, that's okay. Instead of, think of expression instead of convincing,
Yes.
right? Just expression. And anytime you feel and I found this when I was having my conversation, I was like, yeah, but, then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, every time you say, yeah, but, lean back into, am I trying to convince him or am I just offering him some food for thought? I'm going to offer you a way to think about this. I'm going to offer you some new thoughts around this or where I see it from, my
Mhm.
perspective, right?
Right.
I don't
Well,
have to convince him of anything. But the
and I guess
mother in me kept coming out, going, but I want you to change.
The
Angela.
the biggest shift that I experienced through December and bringing it into this year, and in fact, it's this my theme for the year, is the difference between being in performance and being in presence. It is, it seems as though it's so subtle, but it is so profound. And I just
Mhm.
find that I also, and I mean, rightly or wrongly, so it doesn't matter. It's where I am right now. I just find being in environments where a performance is required is like really rough sandpaper. And in as much as yes, it does provide growth opportunities, it's not resonating. So those environments of performance are not resonating for me anymore at all. And so I get to do things like establish guardrails for myself, which I much prefer that word than boundaries, where I'm going into and need to step into an environment which is all about performance. I get to limit the amount of time that I spend there. I don't have to stay there and switch and collapse back into old patterns of performing again. I can rather hold my own space, hold my own integrity by staying in presence. And that presence is more the alignment with soul, the alignment with, and almost all the way through um, all chakras is bringing all those bodies into alignment with one another. And that's been such a liberating experience. And also, one of the analogies that came up for me this week was it's almost like, when you get murky water and we want to stir and we put chemicals in and we want to try and clear the water. All we have to do is let the water do its work and let the sediment fall to the bottom of the jar and we get clear water anyway. And so that kind of resistance, how much time do we spend resisting or going into resistance instead of, as you said, Alana, stepping back and allowing the pause to let the sediment actually settle
Mhm.
and then moving through with clarity? Because that's what
Yeah.
it gives us is the clarity. So that's been really, really interesting is that there's a whole new skill set that links to being in presence. Janice, you talk about the inner coherence. That's a skill set that is about being present or not present in presence,
Mhm.
different. And that's the big thing that if I have to carry through a theme from 2025 into 2026, that's the theme for me is around really this year. Consolidating is not really the right word, but really developing the spiritual muscle of being in presence. And let's see where that goes and how that happens and how that unfolds. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that journey through the year.
Mhm. That has come through very strong since, especially since I got back from Spain. Heightened awareness, heighten your awareness. And I'm not sure if I talked about it in here or not, but I did talk about it in my groups where when you're traveling, you're very aware of everything around you, where your stuff is and where your purse is and your phone. And then you get home and you're like, I can't find my glasses, I can't find my phone. Your presence strikes, yeah. This happens to me multiple times through the day, but the message keeps coming through, heighten your awareness. heighten your awareness to be like that of when you're traveling. And because that not only brings you into the present moment, and that's where your power is, but that is also where your power to create is. So being in that creation energy in the present moment, being fully aware. So that could be a universal theme coming through for us too, Angela. I love it. Yeah.
And that is awesome. The word that came to mind when you were talking about that is we become very complacent in
Mm,
our lives. And lose and well, I don't even wanna say lose, but we don't get into or tap into that childlike wonderment and curiosity, which I think naturally comes about when we're traveling,
mm,
going into a new world. So in our own life, we actually become a little bit complacent. So those of you that are watching, I think that's what Janice is speaking to. How can we take that curiosity and that wonderment and bring it into our day to day rather than staying in that complacent
yeah.
state that we're accustomed to. It's like
Yeah.
there is beauty
Mhm.
all around us, even in our obstacles and our
Yeah.
challenges.
In the shift on the website, one of the pages that has burst itself, because I can't, I mean, I'm not doing, I'm just, my fingers are typing on it. But one of the pages that burst itself is called Learning Remembered. And it starts off with a letter from my inner child to being in that space of absolute wonderment and curiosity. And that involves a lot of work in bringing that inner child into alignment with who we are. And a lot of the shedding, certainly in my experience in 2025, was around a lot of the erroneous narratives and stories that my inner child had picked up that became her identity. That then all that work through, particularly last year, I mean, it's happened before, but more so last year, was around bringing her into her own light and letting her, giving her the permission to let go of carrying all the stuff that she'd been carrying on for so long, and inviting in that sense of excitement and curiosity and wonder and the joy that you only have to watch little children learning to
Yeah.
just tap into that vibration and that excitement about being in that flow of learning again. So, yeah, it's been very interesting to see how it's all evolving. And as I say, I'm not orchestrating any of this. I'm going, okay, that's the instruction. Let's see where it goes. Um, so yeah, been an interesting time. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Yeah. The wonder of integrating our inner child. And of really letting go of all of the allowing that inner child. A lot of people do the spiritual bypass and they don't do a lot of the healing of the inner child or do that inner child work. And yet she's such a source of incredible energy and frequency when she steps into the space of where she's truly meant to be, as
Well, I think
opposed
that's all of us in our evolution. Like you said, when we go through the healing of our own self, and then this is what I mean, like we're coming into the fullest expression of ourself, and bless you. And really truly feeling into who we are truly meant to be and becoming that. And we can't quite get there until we do the healing.
I used to have a Jewish spiritual leader who, I wouldn't say Jewish, she had Jewish kind of background, but a spiritual leader at the spiritualist church that I go to. And she always used to say, whenever you said something and you sneeze, you're sneezing on the truth. So, so hopefully that's what's happening is that we're sneezing on the truth.
I guess so.
Yeah.
One of the things that has come through in the group, because we're talking about visioning into our becoming, visioning into our dreams and working with the universe, co-creating with the universe, was to shift our perspective on our dreams and see your dreams not necessarily as promises. So those dreams that like I truly believe your dreams are planted in your heart. They're seeds that are planted in your heart the day you're born, and each of us has our own unique dreams, and they're the most vulnerable part of us. We protect them and hide them. In fact, most people don't even talk about what their biggest dreams are, and because they feel judged or worried that they'll get stomped on. And when we put our dreams out there, when we put ourselves out there and say, this is what I'm going to create, I'm going to go after it, and it doesn't manifest for us, or it comes in a more limited way than what we were imagining, we pull back because it's like in a relationship when you pour your heart out and you are laying it out on the line for somebody and saying I love you, and that's not reciprocated, you get hurt and it hurts. So think about it like, universe, I just laid my heart out for you and you didn't reciprocate. And now I feel hurt. And so the psyche, tells us to pull back and to don't go so far. Don't dream so big. But if we can look at our dreams as lighthouses
Mhm.
and see them not as a promise, but as a potentiality of who you could become. It's the container that you could become. And each of us, I mean, there's people with way bigger dreams than me and people with not as big a dreams as I have. And so it's not about pass or fail or success or failure. It's more about
Grandiosity.
yeah, how much are you going to grow as you get pulled? The universe is saying, "Come this way. Come this way. Look at this
Mhm.
big, beautiful, shiny dream. Come this way." Because it only cares about your soul growth as you move and evolve towards that dream. And so you can dream as big as you want. You have permission. Dream as big as you want. The universe doesn't care. It doesn't care. It only cares about the soul growth that you achieve as you move towards that. And and so that in itself was very relieving for a lot of the women in the group because they had pulled back, they had dimmed and their dreams and that's where the hurt is. When you actually it's not that the universe didn't reciprocate, it's actually that you abandoned that part of yourself, and
Mhm.
that's what causes the pain. And so allowing yourself permission to dream as big as you want, ask for whatever you want, it doesn't matter. It's now bring the focus back to, well, how am I going to become that person
Mm.
that can hold that dream, that can hold that container? So it takes the focus off the why isn't it here yet into how am I growing today? How am I
Well, and
moving?
I feel
Well,
that is
that
such a really good point, but I also feel it's like it's not always just the hurt. Again, like just from a different perspective of like sometimes it is we're putting it out there and we don't feel like we feel hurt because there isn't response. But we've also been guided and taught to see immediate feedback.
Yeah.
And if we don't see immediate result, and if we don't see, like, even if we put it out there, it's like you said, it's like people are then like, oh, well, I guess it's not supposed to happen, or oh, I guess it's not meant for me, or the universe isn't working with me, or whatever. But we have been taught in society of a immediate gratification. So if it doesn't happen right away, we don't see evidence of it right away, then
well,
it's
that
like,
means
oh, we get, like you said, we give up on it. And I feel like that's part of the learning that we're all getting to is like needing to know that relearning, I guess, is like it's not instant gratification. You're not going to see the immediate feedback of that specific result. And like you said, it may not even look like the result that the goal is specifically meant for you to grow there, not go there. And it's really about paying attention to the evidence of when it starts to be synchronistic or when it like we see signs all the time and it's trusting those things versus the thing itself showing up. And we're this is the relearning we're in, like you said earlier, Angela. And paying
letting go of
curiosity.
and letting go of control,
Mhm.
right? Complacency. It's, understanding that being in that vibration of something more. I like you hear a lot of people who set goals or, it's the new year. So, um, New Year's resolutions, right?
Mhm.
I'm a big believer now. I mean, I used to do that and I would always fall short of the goals.
Right.
Right. And that leads to that disappointment. So now I like to set the intention.
Mhm.
So anybody who's listening, setting the intention is very different than setting a goal because
Very
now
much.
you're setting the intention to the universe. It's an energy and a frequency that you're putting out to the universe that the universe can now reinforce. So when Janice, you speak to dream your biggest dream, again, it's the energy and the frequency that you're putting up that the universe now can help to reinforce.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
that being said, when we actually get to a place of understanding that what is the energy that we're putting out in our thoughts, in our behaviors, because that's the energy that the universe is going to reinforce. And a lot of people who are in the sort of the negative, and the darker side, I guess, rather than negative, the darker side of things, they're forgetting that it's their energy that they're putting out that the universe is now backing up.
Mhm.
Right? So if you're in the negative thought process or patterns, it's an element of that lighthouse is putting out a light and an energy that the universe is drawn to, but it's going to draw on more of what's going to feed what the energy that you're in. So it's when you understand that and you go, okay, well, what do I want to receive more of? Most of us do want to receive more love, more kindness, more acceptance. Well, start with doing that for yourself.
I think
And
one
when
of
you
the
do that,
yeah.
it'll
Sorry,
manifest. That's okay, don't be.
I think one of the things, echoing back to what you were saying, Janice, one of the things, because I did a whole lot of 23 years and look at where I was when I started versus where I am now. And I had a huge, huge dream, huge vision, 2002, still is. And the thing that I really realized as I sat with just a quiet reflection in this cocoon was the person that I started out with and actually was quite naive around how this journey was going to actually unfold. And then, you talk about the hurt around things not manifesting, things not materializing as we would want them to. What I learned through that process was that I needed to mature into the wisdom of being able to hold the size and the scope of the dream. Because if I go back to where I was in 2002 versus now, there's no ways the person who was there at 2002 would be able to do or hold the kind of space that's being held now. That's the first thing. The second thing was nothing was ever a failure, ever.
Mhm.
Everything, and the doors didn't open, were meant not to open, not because I was doing anything wrong, but because they were not the doors that were meant to be opened. Had I known that then, I would probably have been able to save myself from a whole lot of hurt and perceived rejection, which it wasn't. It was the fact that was, it's like when you're going through a maze, that was one of the parts of the maze that I wasn't supposed to go through. And so hindsight is always 2020. And wisdom comes with the fact that we get up, we dust ourselves off, we try again, and we do it again, and we do it again and again and again. And particularly not so much going round and round in circles, but going the again and again and again, which we talk about quite often, is what have I learned from that? What can I be doing differently this time? And also getting to that space of presence, of knowing that everything is exactly as it's meant to be in the moment right now. That's not to say we're digressing from the fact that we have a dream. That's not that at all, but it unfolds. And my human design is pretty different from Janice and Alana because I'm not the manifester, I'm the generator alchemist. So it's a different energy for me in terms of, I don't know all the stuff about human design. I just know that it is different. And so I think that the message on what you're saying, Janice, with your group of ladies as well, is that nothing's wrong. We think it's wrong because that's the way we've been conditioned.
Yeah.
Nothing is wrong. Everything is exactly as it's meant to be in terms of what it is that we are bringing into the world, the lessons that we're learning as we move more and more into the wisdom that comes from being in presence. And
Yeah.
was huge for me in that reflection around the 23 years.
Yeah.
Letting go of all of that muck of the judgment that I had because things didn't work out the way that I thought they had to work out. And that's
Yeah.
been very humbling as well, hugely humbling.
That's the evolution and growth that we attain as we move towards those bright, shining balls of light. And the other part, there was a few layers to this too that was added in, but one of the other parts was the outcome is not the verdict. And we create so much meaning around, like you said, Alana, that meaning around, well, I'm not there yet. Like, and I should be by now because everybody else is manifesting quickly. Why am I not, and getting really entangled in that. So, yeah, beautiful. All of these comments. Oh my God, they're so fabulous. Ah,
Such a powerful conversation, especially as we're coming into like the
mm,
shift, the change that's happening right now, and collectively, not just like our worlds, but collectively, the world is shifting in so many ways. And I've had this conversation with multiple people is that we're all feeling this shift, not just, yes, 2025 to 2026 and that momentum that's happening, but collectively as a society, shifting into obviously we see there's chaos going on in the world. And there's like a lot of things that a lot of us are struggling to and we've talked about this before of not just putting blinders on and sticking your head in the sand and ignoring what's going on, but it's like it's getting to the point where it's like even in 2020 was the catalyst of that shift of like putting our head in the sand of like I don't want to look at or listen to this or see what's going on anymore because it doesn't feel good. But it's like, no, the shift is happening for a reason. 2025, like even this year, the chaos that's going on is happening for a reason for people to become more aware of what's going on and how much they do have control of what's going on and what we allow. And no wonder energy work and all of this stuff is becoming more in the forefront because we're being asked to, like you said, Pam, of like what we pay attention to, either the light or the dark, is what we're bringing more of into this world. So the more of us that are sharing this light, I've had so many conversations lately with people who are feeling like they want to be in this space, but they don't know what it is yet, and they don't know what that looks like. And yes, the world universe is calling us into rising up into the light more to overcome the darkness that's the extreme and the chaos that we're seeing right now.
yes. And I just want to say one more thing because Pam, you brought up intention. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lynn McTaggart, who has wrote The Intention Experiment and a couple other books. Anyways, I've read The Intention Experience years ago, but if you're watching this and you have not heard of that, and if you have Gaia TV, which I highly recommend everyone gets, it's worth the little bit of money you pay each month for it. She is on there uh, talking. Oh, what program is it? Anyway, The Intention Experiment, I think is what it's called. And just profound information to go back and review. I just watched it again last night and I was like, it was such a great reminder of how powerful our intentions are, how powerful the power that we hold to create change, healing, you know,
Mhm.
peace in the world.
Yeah.
Incredible. If we all got together, if the whole world got together and did a 10-minute intention experience
We
on
lost her.
peace,
Oh, there we
we
go.
would have peace immediately. It would happen. Oh, there we
Right?
go. Yeah, if we did that, it'd be like it would shift the whole world, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've done some work with people with regards to meditation and prayer and intention, and it was around Gaza back quite a while ago now. And we had the intention that there would be a ceasefire. And that's literally what we focused on in the group of people all over the world that I was involved with. And lo and behold, within the week, there was a ceasefire.
Right?
It was incredible. But it's that element of intention is everything. And then the power of people coming together in an intention absolutely is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think
And
about
And
our
Lynn talks about
intention
that.
is the four of us. Right?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
intention we're creating here.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
four of us,
And
yeah.
and speaking of Gaia, I agree with you 100%. It's an incredible platform. And the Samadhi movies, if anybody gets a chance, those movies are very insightful as well. I love them. They'll leave you going, "Oh my God, so much of this makes sense."
What is that
And
again?
it's
Say that
thinking outside
again.
of the box.
Can
Samad
you salmon
Samadhi movies,
like salmon the
and they will
fish?
yeah, and they will the movies will leave you going, "Oh my God, that makes so much sense." Like it starts to gain when you're ready for it, You may not be ready for all of it, and I will be honest with people, it's a process. But the pieces that you are ready for are those things that help you to awaken and go, "Oh my God, there is something more. There is something different." And it challenges you to look into things a little bit deeper. I just love the samurai movies.
Are they on Gaia?
Yep, Gaia, and you can get them on YouTube as well.
Huh. Okay.
I think I sent one or two to you guys at some point, but yeah, I absolutely love them. So you can find them on that as well.
Fabulous.
Ooh.
Fabulous, ladies. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
Thank you for this beautiful conversation.
So, Pam, are we going to not see you next week? Are you going to already
You're
be?
not going to see me for a couple of weeks, unfortunately.
Well, safe,
Unfortunately for the show, unfortunately for me.
safe travels.
Yes.
And a
Yes.
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful adventure in India.
It's going to
Oh,
be incredible. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm sure I'll have lots to share when I come back.
can't wait
Can't
to hear it all.
wait. Yes.
Mm.
Right? Like it's my sense is I'm gonna come back changed. I
Mm.
don't think that you can go on a trip like that and not be somewhat changed, even from what I experienced with being in the Dominican, the simple things.
Mhm.
And again, I get choked up. So I'm excited.
Doing anything in person in my mind creates change. So you're changing the dynamic of who you have been to who you are stepping into, even by choosing to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. So happy to share the excitement and share what the journey was all about when I get back. So
Yay.
who would have
Okay.
thought at 64 I've been traveling 19 hours on a plane?
World traveler, my friend. Don't you worry. It's part of what you're bringing into the world.
Many
Absolutely.
years left to do more.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
We were talking with a couple before we end last night at darts, and they're selling their home. They're selling everything in their home. They've literally bought a camper that they can drive in Canada, and they're traveling. They're going to Portugal, they're going to Croatia, they're doing and they're going to come back and travel across Canada in the trailer. I'm like, oh my
Amazing.
God, that is awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
So lots of exciting things for people when you open up, and think outside of the box.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for joining us here as the circle closes for now. The light remains, not just here, but within you. Remember that you carry a beautiful light within you. Let these teachings and talks echo through your being as a lighthouse calls over the sea, steady, unwavering, and sovereign. Share what has touched your soul. Leave comments. Subscribe if you feel the call. And always remember, you are the light, you are the way, and the circle will be here for when you need to return. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. God bless. See you next
God bless.